Good morning, doctor and my fellow friends. I would like to represent Group 7 to present the Chapter 6 review question on capital allowance. We will present on question 4. You all can go to page 196 in the textbook. To calculate capital allowance for the year 2019, the first one is the when. The when is for the commercial purpose, so we directly get the price 85,000 and no restriction. So we will calculate the initial allowance on the first year and the annual allowance for the first, second, and third year. So at the end 2019 residual expenditure, we will get the 17,000, and then the when is disposed on 2019. So we will get the balancing charge amounted to 3,000 because the disposal price is more than the residual expenditure, so we get the balancing charge. For the second asset is the washing machine. Because in the question, the washing machine is a conservation energy machine. So the conservation energy machine have the initial allowance for 40% and annual allowance 60%. So the qualifying expenditure, we just directly get the 30,000 in the question, and we minus initial and minus annual, so we get the nil. And for the third, computer software is buy on the 2019, so we directly minus initial allowance and annual allowance. Because it's the computer software, is initial allowance is 20% and annual allowance also 20%. So we will get the residual expenditure amounted to 36,000. For the small value assets, there are dryers and irons. For the dryers, there is 1,300 for each, so we times 9, and then for iron we times 1 only, because the small value asset cannot exceed 13,000 total. So the dryers already 11,700, so plus the iron we get the 12,000 and 1,900, or already cannot add anymore. So the qualifying expenditure is this amount, and then we capital allowance minus all, and then we will always get the nil. And then for the irons, because the irons have 4 units, and we just add 1 unit here, so and the 3 unit left we will calculate at this. So for the irons qualifying expenditure, we will follow the normal procedure. 1,200 each, we times 3, and then we get the qualifying expenditure, and then minus initial allowance and annual allowance for 20% and 10%, because it is considered as the furniture and fittings for the laundry services. So we get the residual expenditure 2,520. So for the car is a new car bought on 2018, and the car price is 1,005. But because the car is not for the commercial purpose, so the car need to restricted to 100,000, because the cost is not exceed 150,000, so we just take the 100,000 QE, and then we minus initial and annual 20%, So we get the amount 60,000 RE in 2019, and then the car have already disposed on 2019 for 60,000. But because we restrict the car to 100,000, so the disposal price need to use this formula, and then we will get the balancing allowance because the disposal price is less than the RE, so we get the allowance, balancing allowance, not balancing charge. And then because the car is new car with purchased within 2 years, not exceed 2 years, so we need to withdraw the capital allowance amounted to 40,000 because the capital allowance is this 2. And then we will get the balancing charges 37,000. And also the question have stated that this car is 75% is for private purpose. So we calculate here 25% is for business purpose. So the capital allowance we need to calculate separately for business purpose only. Business purpose 25%. So it's 5,000 each for initial and annual. And then we write on here. And for the Honda Accord car, the Honda Accord car is bought on higher purchase term, so the deposit we need to calculate the interest and separate the interest out. So we use the formula. First we take the deposit and then we plus the installment. The installment is 2,000 per month and then got 60 months, so we get the amount, and then we equal to higher purchase price, installment plus deposit. And then after that we minus the cash price that we paid out, so the interest is 24,000, and then we get the amount and then divided by 60 months, we will get the 400 per month for interest. So we only want the principal, so the money installment is 2,000, so 2,000 need to minus 400 interest, so the monthly principal that we need to pay is 1,600 only. And we calculate for this because the Honda Accord car is bought on September 2017, so 2017 have 4 months and 2018 have 12 months, and the car is accident and disposed in 2019 August, so later we will calculate the disposal. So the deposit for the car is 55,000, and then plus the installment for 4 months in 2017, so we use the principal times 4 and then we get this, and this one plus this one equal to 61,000. But the car is not the commercial car, so we restricted to 50,000 only. So we get the 50,000, and then the initial allowance for the first year is 20%, and we just time the restricted amount only. And then we get the RE in 2018, and then in 2018 and 18 we just calculate for annual and no more initial, because no more installment, because we restrict to 50,000 only, so no more added value. So we continue to minus annual allowance, and then we get the RE 2019 20,000, and then dispose in 2019, so the disposal value is 120,000. So we use the formula. Disposal price is this, and the restricted amount and the actual value. The actual value actually is based on the 61,000 actual value is based on the 61,000 plus the residual expenditure in 2018, the installment. So plus the installment times 12, and then we will get the 80, the actual value. So we use the restricted divide actual value times the sales price, disposal price, we will get the disposal value. And then because the disposal value is higher than the RE, so we get the balancing charge. And for this case, we know the no more withdraw, no more capital allowance withdrawal. Because the car is disposed accidentally. So because there are reasonable judgments, so there are commercial justification. So we no need to withdraw the capital allowance. So the total value for the Honda Accord car is 54, and then because the amount is more than the capital allowance, so we just restricted to 30,000 the capital allowance only. Okay, this is for the question 4. Thank you.